Protocol already been established. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to this conference this morning, and more importantly, before I begin, to welcome you to our beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos. And if you should just take a look at the slide across the room, there's a gate that is open, a door that is open. It signifies that Turks and Caicos is open for business, for your business. Doesn't that look beautiful? Turks and Caicos is indeed a beautiful by nature destination. Tourism is our main industry. Tourism accounts for about 40% of our GDP. And if you used to combine real estate, it will probably account about 50% of our GDP. That's how important tourism is to us. We are indeed a high-end luxury tourism destination, and we would like to keep it that way. But however, we still have to look at the diversification of our economy and also the diversification of our tourism product to ensure our economic sustainability and viability. So in order for us to maintain this high-end tourism industry, we need to invest more in our tourism sector. And we can brag about a number of luxury resorts. If you think of Turks and Caicos, you start to think of luxury resorts that are of low density. Resorts such as Parrot Key Resort, Amanyara, the Grace Bay Club, and I see Mr. Mark Durlett here from the Grace Bay Club is a major investor in Turks and Caicos, and many other resorts such as the Palms. We, however, have many developments in the making. Some of them started some time ago and were victims of the recession, and we are looking to revitalize these developments. In addition to the identification of resort islands, we have many keys, and it seems that a number of our keys are being identified as the place to develop these high-end, low-density luxury resorts. Keys such as Ambergris Key, Dallas Key, Drogran's Key, and our beautiful little tiny populated Saul Key. Ambergris Key is one of those major resort islands that started construction some time ago, and it has some magnificent infrastructure. It has the largest private international airport in the Caribbean, with major infrastructure, and right now it is looking for future expansion and further development. And so if there are any persons in this room or that you know of who would like to invest in this particular industry, beautiful beaches, luxury nature, totally eco-friendly island, Ambergris Key is the place to invest. We also have Dallas Key. Dallas Key, another small key, which is about around 900 acres of land and 400 acres of land. In this key have magnificent beaches. A development started there some time ago, Mandarin Oriental brand, that also fell victim to the recession. But we have, I'm sure, some of the developers in this room who you can speak with later on as to how we can get this development back up and going and on track. You can't want any place more beautiful than Ambergris Key, and look at the lovely beaches there that is displayed. We also have the beautiful Saul Key. Saul Key is one of the, actually this particular island back in the 1700s was one of the most populated islands in the Turks and Caicos. Now the population, in the indigenous population, is just under 100. But it has many potentials, a rich history in salt industry and trade, whereby persons just pass through golf carts. There's the only vehicles that are allowed on the island to go about, as well as donkey carts and other magnificent salt structures. So we are looking to develop this particular island within the natural environment as a low-density resort-based island, and Saul Key is a place that you can consider investing. And I have property here, and I will retire here on this island of Saul Key. Drogran's Key is another key that is totally undeveloped, situated between our two major islands of Middle Caicos and East Caicos, strategically located, 900 acres, of pristine, prime beach mainland with beachfront property. Look at the lovely beaches. Is ripe for development, and we are looking for, again, high-end luxury, low-density resort development. Again, these are opportunities that await you, and the government is committed to ensuring that these tourism infrastructure development takes place. So we are rolling out the red carpet, putting forward various tax incentives in terms of duty concession, waiver of duties to attract these investments into our beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos Islands. So we also, however, in addition to the high-end luxury resorts, we need to increase our room inventory. Currently, we have about 3,000 rooms, and we're looking to at least double that by 2020. And in order to do so, we have a mixture not only of high-end luxury resorts, but also AP and EP style hotels that are also high-end branded hotels we're looking for in the Turks and Caicos Islands to increase our inventory. But in addition to that, we are looking to ensuring that we have major hotel anchor projects on each of the islands within the Turks and Caicos Islands so that we can decentralize our tourism product, decentralize our population base to some of the other less inhabited islands that have some of the most magnificent eco-friendly natural attractions on those islands, such as Middle Caicos, North Caicos, and South Caicos. So we as a government will be committed to ensuring that that kind of development takes place. And this is the kind of development in every island have magnificent beaches that you can build those EP and AP style hotels right on the beaches, and they're available for you. You can speak to any real estate agent here from Turks and Caicos in this room, or you can contact our investment unit to show you and point you to the right land and property that is available for you. If the land is owned by government, we will make sure there's some kind of lease arrangements for you to be able to acquire access to these land. We indeed have to diversify our economy, and as the Minister for Finance mentioned earlier, we are looking and getting into the yachting industry, yachting tourism. We have a number of marinas at present, and most of the major resorts are developing marinas. Resort in West Caicos, which is a Ritz-Carlton brand resort on West Caicos, developing a marina. We have the Leeward, which is the Blue Haven Marina, developing Turtle Cove Marina, and a marina that's in current development. I know we have some developers in this room. When we look at the Cooper Jack Marina, which is in your brochure, you can contact those individuals. They're looking forward to opening up these marinas. One of the marina developments on the island of South Caicos as part of the port development is a very important project for us, because that will ensure that we have increase the economy on the islands of Middle Caicos, North Caicos, and South Caicos. Airport infrastructure, as the Minister of Finance mentioned earlier, we have 3 international airports. Actually, we have the most international airports per capita within the Caribbean region. 3 international airports that do still maintain high international standards. The main port of entry, however, is the Providenciales International Airport on the main island of Providenciales. And we're currently undergoing a $10 million expansion that will last us, will double our capacity, that will indeed probably last us for the next 5 to 8 years. However, we are currently also planning for the future expansion that will take us up to 25 to 30 years out. And this future expansion will include, in addition to a brand new state-of-the-art terminal for international arrivals, hopefully jet bridges that can accommodate the largest aircraft that you can to come into Turks and Caicos. Right now, our airport currently can accept 777s that has already arrived in Turks and Caicos to connect, to ensure that our transatlantic flights arrive in Turks and Caicos. So we will be looking for partnerships. And most of the infrastructure development outside of the major resorts we'll be looking to having public-private partnerships with government to ensure that these kinds of development takes place. Road infrastructure, as the Minister of Finance mentioned earlier as well, Turks and Caicos is an archipelago of islands. And if you used to look, we have 2 groups, island groups, the Turks Islands and the Caicos Islands. Obviously, we'll never be able to bridge the Turks and the Caicos because we are passing a 22-mile Atlantic passage. But the Caicos Islands chain is very close proximity to each other. And our dream is really to link all of those islands in the manner that is described here. If you look at the pictures below, the one to the lower right is an existing causeway linking North Caicos and Middle Caicos. But we are looking for causeway to link all of the islands in the manner of the lower left. That causeway is not Turks and Caicos. I think that's probably going to the Florida Keys, but something similar to that, because the longest span from Provo to North Caicos is about 7 miles. And so we are looking for that kind of infrastructure development so that we can decentralize our population from Providenciales, so that we can have easy access to development in North Caicos, Middle Caicos, as well as so that you can access most of the natural attractions, such as the caves, our heritage sites are based on the family islands of North Caicos and Middle Caicos. So we are looking for partners in developing this major road infrastructure. Again, Deepwater Harbor. The island of South Caicos has currently the most natural deepwater harbor, and we are looking for this particular island to be the main port of entry, water port of entry into Turks and Caicos, and to be able to offer cruise ship terminal ports, a multi-purpose, multi-use port facility in South Caicos. And so we are currently working on a business plan and doing preliminary environmental impact studies so that we can have this port developed in short time. We will also be able to create special economic zones within this multi-purpose entry port. We want to invest in educational infrastructure. We already have, at least as Honorable Mizik told you earlier, 2 medical schools interested in coming into Turks and Caicos. We have magnificent hospital infrastructure and looking at medical tourism. So we do have the infrastructure to accommodate all of these, and we are looking for partnership in developing these. And the College Park concept hopefully will look something like that. No, that is not Turks and Caicos. I think that is probably West Point, but similar to that kind of arrangements, multi-campus, multi-purpose facility. On the islands of North Caicos and Middle Caicos, again, in an effort to attract more population and to boost the economy of those islands, is to develop technology parks. And we will be looking at creating special economic zones within these islands, and special economic zones, and particularly looking at software developments to be able to have export with tax and duty exemptions, and also software download sites within these islands that are away from major population centers. And significant legislative work will take place to enable this, and also to ensure that we diversify our economy. So Turks and Caicos is indeed ripe. Lots of opportunities open for business, and if you're looking for a place to invest, Turks and Caicos is the place to be. We have a number of persons in this room. I'll probably at this point in time ask all persons who are investors in Turks and Caicos, live in Turks and Caicos, to please stand, and so the people in this room can see you and recognize you, so that they can know who to speak to at the end of this conference. We have many different, Mr. Mark Durlett, Mr. Joe Connolly, all right, we have Mr. Wilkie, Lubin, right, thanks. So our major sponsors, and our major sponsors were Digicel, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Royal Bank, who's a major bank in Turks and Caicos, Horton Realty, and First Caribbean, and Scotiabank as well. And these are major institutions, and these institutions have utmost confidence in the economy and the future of Turks and Caicos, and so should you. We believe in you, and you should believe in us. Come invest with us, Turks and Caicos. Thank you.